she was given a task that she didn't even really ask for permission. She just saw an opportunity, went for it, did what she thought was best, and then it got accepted and approved to be worn by the players in the MLB, Major League Baseball, during batting practice. This was something that was, hey, they might do this, might do that, and she saw that maybe, took the chance, worked hard at it, and she produced something that today's going to be a really exciting day. Like, we're going to go there and see something that Chloe did, worked hard on, and came to fruition within one of the greatest ballparks in America. It's going to be really cool.
We have a few things. One, how does it feel that John Buccigross from ESPN used his website and he loved it? That's kind of, we have a few milestones coming up here, but that's the first one. What are your thoughts on that?
We just launched the website for John Buccigross at ESPN, and it's kind of funny because it brings a lot of history full circle for me, where at Trinity College, when I was first messing around in the dorm rooms for websites and things like that, I built something called TSPN. It was the Trinity Programming Sports Network, and totally ripped off like the ESPN logo, put a T on the front, and I got a cease and desist from ESPN that I had to fix the logo and take down this little tiny website that we threw together just for me and some friends, and then the college and stuff like that. But getting a letter in the mail from ESPN to, like, cut the shit, and then all of a sudden now we're, redesigning websites for their employees. It's kind of funny, but Bucci's the man. Bunch of hockey fans here, and it was really, really cool to work with him. Great guy.
For you, starting back in the dorm room, and your agency just did it, the site for one of the biggest hockey personalities in the world.
Yeah.
Like, how does that feel to kind of stop and look back down the road a little bit and be like, we're here now?
It's cool. Yeah, to go from building tiny little WordPress websites in my dorm and kind of just breaking sites and just trying to figure out the internet in the dorm rooms, to now redoing websites for people like John Buccigross and a lot of the other large personalities and clients that we have. It's just validation that, we were doing the right things over a long period of time to earn enough trust and credibility where those people want to work with us. So that's just, again, doing the right thing long enough and being experts at it. So it is validation, that I feel really, successful in what we're building. And I think everyone here is validated in the same way, that we're all like doing the right thing for really good people.
And that was a cool one too, because it was like, the idea popped up. We get to go be around him because of Tresca. You, the idea, Mike had the idea for the site. You go, let's just design it before we even go, and give the green light to just use our resources to do that. That all of a sudden we look at each other like, oh my God, that's amazing. Trust in it, that it happens. We are there. We basically shoved the laptop in his face. I leave early. Mike at the end becomes best friends with him. He's got his cell phone number. Liz runs the project. Like, it was a true team effort, I feel like.
Yes.
It all had to line up.
It did. And
Cool.
that one all came together by not forgetting what got us started in the first place. Like, it would be so easy for us to just kind of move on and only talk to these larger clientele and people that have large budgets or whatever. But I still have the mentality that I had day one of showing someone proof, or someone being able to see what's on the horizon, what they're missing. And that's something like John was not thinking about that at all. Like, he had no idea that, within a couple months we could flip around an incredible new website for him, or that we even did that. So I still like to, even if it means going above and beyond, and if they say no, it is what it is. But you got to take your hacks at it. You got to take some swings. And anyone just getting started, that's the same method that they should take, is they should be working on their craft, creating stuff, even if it's for free, and showing people and earning that trust. So So although we're, this larger agency now, I still want to have that, mindset that if people don't even know we do something, let's extend ourselves a little bit to show them what they're missing out on.
On that note, Chloe on our team just designed uniforms for Major League Baseball. Tell us about that.
This is really cool. So I'm so proud of Chloe, and it's wild that she's only celebrating 1 year with us, but she was given a task that she didn't even really ask for permission. She just saw an opportunity, went for it, did what she thought was best, and then it got accepted and approved to be worn by the players in the MLB, Major League Baseball, during batting practice. And this was something that was, hey, they might do this, might do that. And she saw that maybe, took the chance, worked hard at it, and she produced something that today's going to be a really exciting day. Like, we're going to go there and see something that Chloe did, worked hard on, and came to fruition within one of the greatest ballparks in America. It's going to be really cool.
What are the jerseys for?
Yeah. I've been really close with the Frady's family for a very long time. Pete Frady's always looked up to him when I was younger. His brother Andrew, one of my best friends. And so we, as an organization, have worked with that foundation, Peter Frady's ALS Foundation, for quite some time. And this was something that they always kind of send things our way. Sometimes a little thing, sometimes a bigger thing. And when they need help, we're there. And this was one of those things that they sent over, hey, there might be an opportunity to create some really cool, merchandise or collateral or whatever for this game. And that's what Chloe saw. Chloe saw a window here where they asked for a little request and then ran with it and presented to them something that they loved. And they were like, we got to bring this to life. And they presented it for the Red Sox. They approved it. And now today, baseball players are going to be rocking some pretty cool stuff that Torro put together.
This was one that, again, I think we finally looked at each other like, Chloe didn't ask for permission because Chloe never asked for permission, which is a great thing, I think, about her. It's like, and you gotta be careful with that, but it is a great thing in a lot of ways. But we finally looked at each other and we're like, we have to pay attention. This is unreal.
Yeah.
That this is all happening. Kind of like what's happening on the side with her running 100 miles an hour. We didn't even really know until the very end that it was.
What we've built at Torro is so beyond me that it's something that I can't keep up with. And I remember this happening when, say YouTube first launched, is that it reached a point where there was too much content to consume within a lifetime, or just reached a point where you can't possibly do everything early on. And I feel like we're at that point now in the agency where it's like, I can't keep my eyes on everything, which is a good thing, is that I'm not the bottleneck, because Chloe sent me a link with a design and here's what I'm thinking and all this stuff. And she looked for permission, but didn't wait. So I was not the bottleneck that kept this opportunity from coming to fruition. She was like, this is what I'm thinking. Here's what I designed so far. Do you have any thoughts? Blah, blah, blah. And I was slammed that day. And she didn't wait. She just kept moving forward. And that was something that I was so proud of her for doing, because now today we get to really see the fruits of her hard work.
One thing that I know you've been chomping at the bit to talk about, and I was listening to some stuff this weekend, is SEO and how that's shifting now with Google changing the way that they do overviews using different AI tools. But for as far as this is we probably need to do 2 or 3 of these.
Yeah.
But one question that's popping into my mind is how an agency like Torro is going to potentially restructure deals, or how it's still pretty preliminary, but at the same time not. How are you envisioning Torro changing the way that we create deals, proposals, and restructuring that marathon SEO approach that's been for years to what's about to take place? What is taking place?
So there's this massive shift going on right now of how people search and the intent in what they search for and wanting their answers even faster. So before it was all, search engines and drumming up a bunch of different results, and then you got to comb through what you like the best and all that stuff. And that's just shifting completely into you being able to rattle off all the different things that you want and getting an answer immediately in front of you. And that's nuts, first of all. But we've always looked at, search engine optimization as an incredible opportunity for people getting organic results to get their brand out there. And though everyone's kind of coining the new term search everywhere optimization, which is pretty true, but the important thing with this is a couple of things. It's not just about the clicks to your website. That's something that I think is the fear aspect of what we're dealing with here. People are like, well, what's going to happen with the direct traffic to my website? That will be influenced. Like that will take an impact for sure. And that's all good. But the shift in the opportunity in this is that you're going into more of a authority influence kind of game plan within LLMs and like ChatGPT, Perplexity, any of these things. So it's not necessarily like, okay, well, we only cared about traffic before. Now your brand and your influence on these things is kind of the new SEO. And what's funny is the old way of doing SEO is actually how you influence 80% of the new LLMs. So people shouldn't be fearful like, oh, SEO is dead. It's really not. You still need to do those things in order to get picked up by LLMs like ChatGPT. But the cool thing is that a lot of our clients are seeing referrals from ChatGPT. We got a phenomenal one last week that found us through ChatGPT. So the same thing goes. If you have kind of the compounding efforts of doing traditional SEO, and I mean like within the last couple of years, those methods, not the old stuff or anything black hat, but if you keep doing kind of white hat, modern day SEO stuff, you will rank on these LLMs like ChatGPT.
It seems to me like it's making it easier for the user where everything that has mattered still matters, but you have to just feed it
Yes.
a very digestible answer.
Yeah.
Is that like way too simple for me? Like right at the top of a reworking page is restructuring the content, like giving it a very digestible way for someone that doesn't know the lingo of whatever it is that you're talking about.
So, like short form SEO is pretty much dead, and it probably should be, of understanding like a definition or understanding like a super easy answer to a question. That stuff is taken care of by SEO. The stuff that you mentioned, which is the opportunity here, is the bottom of the funnel stuff where really long tail, I mean just longer searches, more words that are super specific around a specific problem. That's the stuff that you really need to optimize for and put within your site, put out there in the world with your content to be an expert on certain things. That's like service in a specific area, addressing a very specific problem, and all the things that you would prompt potentially of like, here's the situation, that if you create content around more of those complex situations, you're going to own that area. And people are still thinking of these like short term, like SEO terms, like plumber near me or things like that. Or like, what is SEO or things like that. Those are all like gobbled up pretty quickly. It's that longer problem solving and situational SEO that is a massive opportunity still.
What's a good example of that for us?
For us,
Yeah.
So if someone wanted to find us through like an LLM, they would probably search for something super specific of, I own an HVAC company and I don't know the best way to get marketing leads and new sales opportunities to my business, but I'm looking to grow 10x over the next 5 years. I'm located around Boston, Massachusetts. I need to find an expert or an agency that can assist with making the best campaigns, managing the proper ad spend, and yada, yada, yada. Like they can just keep going in a paragraph about their problems where we are the solution. And we've already optimized for, the HVAC company that does that with, Google Ads or organic and LLM optimization. Like, we already have a lot of the content prepped where we'll be, in those recommendations for people.
And so, yeah, well, that was going to be my follow-up. So, like, what's our method of making sure we're the right solution for that? But it sounds like everything that we've been doing.
Yeah, it's all
about authority, right? So we've been doing it for a long time, so we're going to be in a good place.
one thing with organic and paid is that there's branded campaigns, right? There's people that you just market your own brand and brand mentions. And that's something like you typically don't want to spend money on that. You want people that are like, they don't know you yet, that Google the service that you offer. That being said, all these new tools are looking for brand mentions. And that is something that the more times people search your brand, the more time people say your brand with a positive experience across any channel, whether it's a website, whether it is a review site, a directory, anything. It's those that are getting tallied in these algorithms that really, really matter. So before, where you were trying to get optimized for just a service, now you're trying to get a ton of mentions around your brand to be recommended on these. So it pivots a little bit, but it all is meshed together. It's all part of the strategy.
What is a way that you think we could the thing that I find fascinating is like a lot of it is around e-commerce and the comments and people talking about products and how that's going to influence it. Like, how do you think we could do a better job of getting Torro talked about or mentioned so that way these, AI models scrape that and, know we're the best?
I think the best way, not just for us, but for anyone to get recommended by AI models and LLMs is through social proof. So that's the first thing that we typically do when we go to buy something, say on Amazon, is you scroll down and you see how many reviews it got, how many positive reviews it got, and am I the first person to make this decision? Because you don't want to be. You want to make sure someone did it before you and they like the experience. So for us or any business out there, they need to go back to their customers, all the successful projects they've had, get reviews and get them distributed across a lot of different things. So there's certain directories that are industry specific, like Clutch or any of those. There's obviously Google Business Profile, and there's a bunch of other ones depending on if it's e-commerce, hospitality, tech, that if you get enough of them, those are the things that are the social proof in anyone's world that can really move the needle.
So as far as like the services that we provide, do you see that shifting?
Yeah, I just think from the services we offer, and honestly any digital agency offers, it's shifting where we need to stay up with how new ads are going to be distributed within like Google AI, their AI mode. They're like testing with how they're going to weave in ads. There's like all these new things that are kind of just coming out of how to weave in creative ads. Because Google doesn't want to shut the most profitable part of their business, close that down. So yeah, we're testing out a bunch of new things, but honestly, the things that we've done really, really well are still a necessity for people to be successful these days, drum up new leads. So it's not just the paid side, it's not just the organic side. There are certain things that are becoming easier with AI, but people still want an expert. They still want a pro to deliver those things. And that's really what we are. We're the people that know how to use these and leverage them the best way. If I was just starting like a digital agency these days or getting into marketing, I would be a little scared because you'd have to do so much proof of successful campaigns, portfolios, and things like that to establish that trust where we have that. So to someone just starting out, they're going to have to become experts at AI implementation or other ways to weave in vibe marketing and vibe coding and different stuff that like we have a good foundation of trust, but to someone just starting out, they're going to have to go through a million more hoops to earn trust and grow. But it shouldn't, stop someone from doing it. It's just a different path than what we had to take.
No, I'm excited for it. I think we're gonna have a lot of success on it, but I think a big piece of it is gonna be, we're gonna get asked about this 85,000 times in the next couple of years. You know,
Next couple months.
No, I know, but like,
Yeah.
you know, even in the next couple of months, it's gonna take a year
Oh yeah.
for people to even pay attention.
Yes. They're just
Right,
starting to
like-
have the conversations.
Yes, and that's the people that are like on top of their stuff.
Right.
The people that are on top of their game, they're still not gonna pay attention in 6 months. Like, I think this is gonna be a longer process, although it seems like it's coming really fast, and it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm preparing like it's already here because it is here.
Yes.
But for our clients, it's something that if they're already on board with us, they have the, benefit of us shifting gears appropriately for them. It's the ones that don't have a plan right now or haven't really, taken that leap into an aggressive marketing strategy that they're going to be lost for a little bit here. And the other people are going to get way ahead. So our clients are in a good situation, but it's something that if people aren't up with the times, they're going to get left behind pretty fast.
No, for sure. And I think we like get lost in our world here where we use it every day and we're on top of it. Jack, we just went over it last week, right? And Jack I just showed him what I did. I was like, yeah, I had these couple emails come through, and like, even I was like a personal thing came through, and I was like, I don't know how to read it because I'm not in like the financial world or something like that. And I was like, what is this? Break it down for me like I'm 10 years old. And he was like, wow, I never even thought to do something like that, where Jack, very tech savvy guy, you know what I mean? Where I think of like my parents, like I try to sometimes do it, be like, get outside, think about my parents or my brother and sister that aren't on their laptop all day. They're never on their laptop.
No.
They have no idea what this is. That's where my point is. I think the rest of the world is not as close as we might think because we're in it every single day.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we have to. It is here and we need to know it now. But
Right.
that's my point.
But what an opportunity, to be on the forefront of it and find the best ways to leverage it. So anything that I thought before was like fear of change is really just now optimism of, oh my God, like we can totally flip this thing and be the pioneers for the whole thing versus like, oh no, people are going to shift in a different way. It's like, no, let's lead the charge. The education of how to leverage all this stuff is what people really don't know how to use yet. Is like one of the best hacks of all time with these tools is to actually ask it what you should be asking it. Is if you ask ChatGPT, like, here's the goal, here's what I'm trying to do, what is the prompt that I should be giving you? And what questions do you have that makes the greatest prompt of all time? And if you get that feedback first, it's like you're not going to out-prompt the AI yourself. So why not ask it what the prompt is? So if you just start rewiring, you almost have to unlearn stuff that you've learned before to now relearn a whole new thing. It's really strange, but it's kind of cool because once you master it, like, holy shit, it's pretty powerful.
What do you mean by that? Unlearn it.
Education and learning is obviously so powerful, but to have the skill to actually unlearn something is almost greater. In that, we spend our whole lives in education, all these grades, we learn certain ways to do things, but sometimes they're just not the right things. And things change and you're used to doing things the old way. That if you can almost like unlearn something to then shift gears into the new way of doing things, you become way more productive. You can find all sorts of life hacks in that. And I think AI is opening up that opportunity where people have to unlearn the lengthy ways that they were doing something to then shift gears to this new way of education, productivity, all these little hacks that we have now.